Here we go. The lights are about to go red. First light, second light, third light, fourth light, and the fifth light. And it's pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 go. Patrick Sheepos now jumps off well. Look at Ronhaar though, straight to the inside, tries to take Sheepos immediately. Look at Caraton now as well, taking the initiative. Caraton goes ahead there of Thomas Ronhaar. Second place now on track. Wilson Hughes ahead of the Mercedes as well for the back. Look at Danny Beresne trying to get himself into the mix. You can see Ronhaar trying to defend against the Flying Scotsman and Wilson Hughes. A car's round, it's Beresne. Beresne's off Jackinan.
Oh, it's gone from bad to worse. He had a terrible week last week spinning off, and now it's happened again. But I tell you what, Caraton, what a move around the outside of Ronar into turn one. It was brave. It was brilliant that he takes P2. Ronar sits in P3, and no change really up through the order here. Luke Smith making up one place into P10.
With Caraton looming large as Otis Lawrence immediately takes the fastest lap of the race and is in fact looking to try a move here on Max Wiesel. A brilliant move indeed if he can hook it up. Couldn't quite do it, but a switch back to the inside here from Otis Lawrence. This could be a brilliant move. Side by side down through towards turn 4. The Aston Martin now might have to give up the ghost. In comes now the Red Bull of Otis Lawrence round turn 4. Brilliant move there from the youngster. Moves his way into the top 10, all the way from the centre S's through to turn 4. That's how you do it. He's now in the points section here at PSGL. So Benham now going to be charged with trying to keep Marcel Kiefer at bay, and it's now confirmed that Kiefer is closer to Benham than Otmir is to some degree. You can see Butcher as well, not yet done, wants to try and take the place back. Outside line coming through the Pinarino as now they come through this next left. They got certainly Beaker to Parto up next. Alfie Butcher, brilliant here, and in comes as well Luke Smith. Incredible tie-up with three of these drivers, and now Marcel Kiefer loses out twice here as they venture through the final sector.
And that is what one mistake gets you. It loses you 2 places. Great opportunistic driving from Luke Smith. Great move from Alfie Butcher as well. But these guys have lost DRS on the cars in front now. So this is going to leave Alfie Butcher very, very vulnerable to Luke Smith. Here he comes. Of course, he's in the championship fight. Needs all the points he can get up to P7. Goes Luke Smith then in the Alpine. But that just shows you one mistake. And that's 2 places gone for Marcel Kiefer. In this race, Sipos peels into pit lane, so Caraton stays out as they come up towards turn number 1 then. So this Sipos into the pit lane, and he is the second Alpine to box now, and a couple of others coming in as well. Wilson Hughes into pit lane, Kiefer and Wiesel also pitting. Yep,
they're all coming in now, so a change in strategy for a number of cars. Obviously medium tyres will be adopted by all those that have just come in. Caraton now takes the absolute lead of the race, or the on-track lead.
Ronar stays out, Otmir is carrying on as well, as is Jake Benham. Alfie Butcher, that's not within 5-second penalty, and he's retired from the session. That would have been, obviously that would have been a death sentence for him. A 5-second penalty would have dropped him to the absolute tail end of the field. That's a shame for Alfie Butcher, was driving so well. Caraton in then, we're watching to see where does he come out relative to Sipos. Of course, that's the big question. Caraton out of the pit lane now. Sipos coming through the first corner. Watch for Caraton here. Is he going to get the overcut done on Sipos here? This would be excellent if he does. I don't think he's going to quite get out in front of Sipos. He won't need side by side. They will go mere inches between them. Sipos comes out in front though, but a safe move from Caraton there. He comes out in front of Wilson Hughes, and that's what he needed really.
So one Mercedes does box, in comes Ronhaar. Now our eyes now have to avert over to Patrick Sheepos. Where does the gap lie? Does Caraton come out ahead of them as well? Because they've already pitted, so let's keep our eyes peeled, folks. Jarno Otmir currently leading this race, but where does he compare now? Certainly Patrick Sheepos in comparison to those that have just boxed now. We're seeing the cars now come across the start-finish line. There is Thomas Ronhaar bailing out to the pit lane. As we can see, this could be tight. Goodness me, Sheepos has the jump. Sheepos with the jump here on Thomas Ronhaar. That's brilliant. He's clear. He had the clearance before, but now he's made sure of it. Now there's some cars in between. Look at that. Caraton, Hughes, Ronhaar is in behind those two.
But Alvaro Caraton leads it on penalties. Thomas Ronhaar sitting in P2, and we actually missed that as Ronhaar managed to pass Wilson Hughes.
I think he has. You know, he's managed to get ahead there of the McLaren, and not only that, Jake Benham is not far away either. They'll have to wait and see as to whether Wilson Hughes can hang on to that 6th place, but Ronhaar managing to usurp him and head up into 5th. Now chases Alvaro Caraton, so there we go, folks. That just goes to show, get your tyres warmed up, and that's what you can get out of them. And certainly now Ronhaar chasing after Alvaro Caraton.
on track currently, but of course remember that is P5 after the top two take their pit stop. So here comes Caraton now on Sipos. Sipos won't fight this too hard, but Ronar might try to follow through that 3 wide. Here comes Ronar up the inside of the two of them. Late on the brakes, Thomas Ronhaar, the double overtake. He takes the lead in stunning fashion here at the Interlagos in Brazil. Can he hang off Caraton now? Here comes Caraton now, in behind the Haas. He's going to sit and be patient, but Ronar, that was clever, that was brilliant, and he takes the lead in Brazil.
Of course, this is for the on-track second place as we're now seeing them come together again. Dylan Warren is not going to fight this one as they make their way through the Ferradura, through to second place now Thomas Ronhaar. And it's very important now that Caraton can also move ahead of his teammates as well. Now, does Dylan Warren play the game here? Does he defend Patrick Sipos and give Caraton a chance to just fight Thomas Ronhaar at this stage?
Yeah, it's going to be tough though. He just doesn't have the tyres, does he? So you can see they're all just driving by him. Unfortunately, yes, keeps out of the way there, Dylan Warren. Was obviously hanging on for a safety car there, but just hasn't quite worked out now. Will Lewis up at the front of the order right now on 26 lap old hard tyres. He hasn't really got anything to answer with, so through goes Ronar. Caraton going to follow through as well, being very patient here in his Williams, and Will Lewis just keeping out of the way. A big lunge from Sipos, long way back, nearly loses the rear end through there, but still not able to find his way through. But tell you what, Jarno Otmeer's on the hunt here. He sees Luke Smith is flashing, so here comes Otmeer now on the attack on these newer mediums. Jake Benham bringing him through as well. Luke Smith going to try fights him on the inside there. They leave each other room. They had a great fight before between Jarno Otmeer and Luke Smith. Round the outside goes Jarno, and he's just going to slot in front as they come into the right-hander. He's into P6, up behind his teammates.
In fourth as well, Otis Lawrence there also making moves past the AlphaTauri of Will Lawrence.
There's contact between Hughes. Sorry, George. There was a big lunge from Jake Benham, and he's gone into the side of Wilson Hughes.
And we lost Smith.
Now going to unfortunately, there's been a big contact there.
Yeah, but Luke Smith also losing him as well, and Jarno Otmeer now up into fourth place. He's overtaken his teammate. Incredible moment. Mercedes deciding to make the swap. Benham is going to let Otmeer go and maybe hold up the numbers in behind. The fight is on here. Jarno's going to get closer. 1.2 seconds to find now with 7 laps to go.
To the back of Wilson Hughes, Marcel Kiefer going to try and challenge. This could go 3 wide here. It is going to go 3 wide either side. How have they managed to not make contact there? Otis Lawrence goes through and he gets collected by Hughes through there. There's big contact throughout the pack here. This is getting very messy, and unfortunately it's going to end up, I think, with Wilson Hughes dropping back. He needs a safety car right about now. Would have been good for him, but he's holding up Luke Smith at the moment. Luke just doesn't have any ERS to fight with, and now, unfortunately, it's going from bad to worse for Wilson Hughes. He's fighting with Marcel Kiefer here and gets into P7, but this is not. It started off great for Wilson Hughes, but unfortunately now has ended up down in P7.
And you have to fancy Jarno Otmeer in this fight as well, Jack, because of course those tyres are relatively fresh. Let's not forget he boxed later than anyone else. And look at this, Sipos giving the position away to Jarno Otmeer. Now what's this all about? What's going on here, folks? Here at lap 31 of 36.
He's held on since the very beginning of this Grand Prix, but there's only one more corner to go and one more run for the line. He's got 15% more ERS. Big moment for Caraton though. He's lost the rear end going through the final corner. A long wait has finally come to an end. Up towards the line, Thomas Ronhaar wins the Brazilian Grand Prix and takes his first ever PSGL PCF1 victory. Caraton left it too late. He finishes in P2. Jarno Otmeer finishes on the podium in P3.
This broadcast was brought to you by GT Omega, proudly supporting PSGL.